So, in the week it's been since I recorded the last video, I realized that I spent way too much time working on like you know the web page essentially for the module that I was building. I built everything from scratch. I did all the CSS. I didn't use a calendar, import tool or anything like that. I built it myself, which was really cool and all. But eventually, I realized that I was way behind everybody else, and so I had to make some like compromises in how I went uh, beyond that. So that was quite a struggle. For the past 9 days, I've been feeling like I had to catch up, and like finally did at the last minute there. Because I thought I would have more time to catch up on everything this week, but then uh, this week was a lot of working together as a team, trying to make sure that all of our modules jived well with each other, and that took quite a bit of time. There was a lot of debugging, and the biggest moment was Tuesday night. I think I don't know if it was actually 5 hours, but it felt like 5 hours of trying to debug this thing in Kyle's page. Like it wasn't like the page wasn't rendering for us, at least not for me and Paula. And I finally figured out that it was because in his HTML file he had like different double quote marks. Uh, they weren't being recognized as double quotes on my system, and I don't know how they got there, but it was like that they somehow got into like a rich text format or something like that, and yeah, so that was a nightmare. And then we had a struggle trying to figure out how to. Yeah, I spent like another day trying to figure out how to get uh, your pages to recognize a new product ID. I thought it would be a piece of cake, but I wasn't familiar with how React and jQuery are mortal enemies. So yeah, and then we finally got it to work with React Router, which that was a little confusing. I'm glad it worked because initially it seemed like like it was passed through components. I was like, that's stupid, but yeah, it did actually read the the URL parameter as we had hoped. But yeah, so that was the big struggle this week was debugging each other's code and trying to figure out a way to get the apps to figure out what property ID they were supposed to be looking at. But yeah, this week was a lot of team building and working together as a team, whereas like before that I was just plowing through stuff on my own because I knew what I needed to do and I just had to get through it as fast as possible. And I had so much to do. And this week it went a little slower. It was a little more frustrating, but it was more rewarding, I think. And yeah, I'm running out of time here, so I'll try to be fast. But yeah, the reason I started building websites the way that I do, like from scratch, is to make them fast. And even though it took forever for me to build my calendar and design all the CSS from scratch, I got a 90 on the PC speed ranking. I didn't really design it for mobile. It's responsive, but not actually for mobile. But I'm glad that all that effort paid off in some way. Okay, I'm out of time. Bye.